and once you find value in something that you enjoy doing day in and day out, that's what will keep you pushing forward. It's not about the extra stuff. It's really, you got to dig deep and figure out what you find value in and run with it and do what you love. What's up, guys? Nassib CBT, Brian and LasKeys. I'm back at it. It's been a long time since I made a video, full video, couple weeks. Back to the drawing board right next to me. I kind of want to break down, gonna actually explain the bulk that I'm doing for about 5 weeks. That started last Monday, the 26th. What's the 26th, I believe. So I've been doing it for almost a week. Going good so far. I'm going to name some pros and cons to it, what I've experienced for about a week or so. I'm going to name some pros or cons to a high-fat diet. I love fats. That's what I'm used to, so I'm not really used to this high-carb kind of loading on the system. And then a different type of training, which I'll mention too. But I kind of want to mention how to make a basic and effective, properly planned out program, resistance training program. And for the past couple weeks, about a month or so, I've been at my internship, Velocity Sports Performance in Norwood, and I've actually learned a lot just by first observing a ton of things, and then speaking with coworkers and coaches there as well. So I've gained a ton of experience. I've learned a lot. I really enjoy it, and I'd say I'm about halfway through. Got about 2 months or so of it left, and just trying to absorb as much as I can because I'm always looking to learn new things. So without further ado, I'm gonna, like I said, go back to the drawing board here. So I'm just gonna turn it, and I'm going to start. Probably you guys won't be seeing my face a lot during the video, but you first want to make sure that you have a goal set in place, right? You want to find out what you want to do, what it is that you want to achieve, and write it down on a piece of paper. That's really the only way that you're going to be following that and committing to it, if you write it down and if you look at it almost every day. Now that you've got that goal established, you can then start from the foundation, right? Every house needs a foundation to start building on top of it. So you first got to start with this question, right? How long do you want the program to be? And how long is it going to take for you to reach that goal or that thing that you want to achieve? Right, so it says, how long is your program going to be? Is it going to be 8 weeks? Is it going to be 8 months? Right, that's a long time. Is it going to be 6 weeks, 4 weeks? I said weeks, months, days, whatever it's going to be. You need to have that established first. Just to turn it to me for a sec here. I kind of made that mistake a while ago where I made like a 3 or 4 month plan, and I didn't have a specific goal set in place. So what are you going to do after that? What are you going to just keep training and not write anything down? No, and I'll actually show you what I have. And it was bullshit. I didn't follow it. It was just a bad plan. It was a bad plan of action. I didn't follow up with it. I didn't change it. So I just kept doing exercises and doing whatever it is that I wanted. I didn't have any reps or sets or any tempo, any weight written in. I didn't have any deloading, which I'll get to in a second. So this is all basically just BS, and that's completely my fault, completely my bad. But that's how you learn. How you learn is making mistakes and failing. So this is the front of it. This is about a 3-month plan, right? It was going from like January 1st, gonna hit the ground running, gonna lose a ton of weight, gonna just shred out. January 1st to April 1st. That's a 3-month plan. That's typical for like athletes when they're in their off season and then they start up their in season and they kind of taper down with the training. But I just had no plan. Sets, reps, weight, and time. I didn't write it down. I didn't solidify it and think about it ahead of time. So I just wrote it in myself, as you can see. Yeah, I basically stopped. So you got to figure out how long your program is going to be, right? This bulking program that I'm doing now, it started February 26th. And it's lasting until March 31st. That's 5 weeks total. And I have a specific resistance training program designed to my goal, and that's to add 10 pounds of muscle in 5 weeks, about 2 pounds per week, which is not huge. It's just not a major thing to achieve. It's just you have to have a plan, and you have to make sure that you have this question answered already. Number 2, exercise selection and order. Basically, what are the exercises going to be that you're going to train per session? Whether your style is BB, bodybuilding, whether your style is PL, powerlifting, whether your style is Olympic lifts, whether your style is CrossFit, whatever it is, you need to make sure that those exercises that you choose tailor towards your goals or what you like to do, or what your style is. So I have here on the side, you basically want to start with the most taxing exercises first, right? So you want to, of course, warm up the body with warm-up exercises, with pumping as much blood as you can to an area to warm it up. You also want to keep this in mind, right? You want to start with explosive exercises first, right? So if you're going to do Olympic lifts, I would recommend doing those before the heavier power lifts. So let's say, for instance, in my program here, where is it? Yes, in my program here, I have box jumps and power cleans right here before I do my back squats, all right, or front squats, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing power exercises, not power exercises. Power exercises. You're doing your power exercises, your explosive, your plyometrics first before you do your maximal strength exercises. This is predominantly seen in powerlifting, this kind of method where you start with an explosive exercise, let's say plyo push-ups, and then you do your bench press right after that. That would be your main lift, your strength lift. And then you would do your couple assistance exercises there, that being, a cable fly or decline push-up or decline press or whatever you think you can do to assist in that main lift for future lifts or for future sessions. It's the same thing with bodybuilding, except bodybuilding focuses mainly, not mainly, but all of these, whereas powerlifting focuses on their three main lifts, let's say squat, bench, deadlift. Whereas bodybuilding uses a lot more assistant exercises and more volume, which I'll get to in a couple minutes. So you got to think about that. Number 2, what are the exercises that you're going to pick and the order of them? That being this kind of template right here. Number 3, does your program test the intensity or volume per week? So you, like I said, are you going to be keeping it the same, like this shitty plan that I had for 3 months? Are you just going to keep it the same and not write anything in? Or are you going to have actual intensities and volumes written in like I do here in my new plan? So I'm really freaking excited, as you guys can tell, about this the next 4 or 5 weeks or so. Really excited for it. Can't wait to get see improvements. I basically just started this past week with a program with higher weights, more rest time. So I have them implemented in here where I write sets. I have all the sets and reps written down per week. I have all the intensities up here. If you guys can't see that, I have all the intensities written up here. The 4th week, 4 out of 5 weeks, the 4th week is going to be the heaviest week, so that's basically going to test my maximal strength. And the last week will be a little less than that, maybe even up there, so I might do 2 weeks of max strength. But the whole program is based off of having both intensity and both volume, right? So you want to think about that. And my kind of thought here is I don't powerlift. Right? That's not my style. I don't like to do that. I like to focus on bodybuilding. I like to focus on developing as much muscles, as many muscles as I can in my body. So I'm not necessarily focused on all the weight, right? I'm not like writing down PRs. I'm not writing down numbers, as they say. I'm focusing on developing my physique and my whole body. In kind of a proportional way. It sounds ridiculous, but that's actually really what it is. It's focusing on the look of your physique and the feeling of your physique. Bodybuilding is kind of an art, whereas powerlifting's focusing on weights and just getting up a lot of weight. Which no knock to that whatsoever. I like throwing up heavy weight too, but that's just like I said, and if you guys probably know, it's just not my thing to do. So next I'm going to show you what kind of about number 3, and how you can kind of implement intensity and volume into a perfect program. So here, guys, is what I was talking about. This is a template that I think is very useful, and I think would be very beneficial for you guys looking to make your own program, or just basically follow guidelines of, let's say, a bodybuilder or a power lifter. So whatever you fall under, let me just explain both. So volume is basically off of sets and reps, predominantly reps, right? If you were to have a high number of reps and a low intensity, you're focusing on increasing your muscle size, hypertrophy, right? You're inducing hypertrophy to the muscles, increasing the cross-sectional area. You're focusing on taxing the muscular system, right? And that's what I prefer to do. That's my favorite. So that's, like I said, a bodybuilder's style of training. Whereas powerlifter's style of training focuses on taxing the nervous system. And that's low amount of reps, but a high amount of weight. Now, high amount of weight correlates with a high amount of intensity. So if you're, let's say, a power lifter, if you're interested in powerlifting, increasing your numbers, increasing your 3 bread and butters, squat, bench, deadlift, you're going to have a high intensity, right, high weight, but you're also going to have a low volume, right, so low amount of reps. Longer rest times, that kind of thing, smaller amount of exercises per training session, that kind of thing. Whereas if you're a bodybuilder, like I just mentioned, you're going to have a high amount of reps, right? But you're also going to have a lower intensity, right? And how do we optimize both of those? Well, look in the middle, right? 5 and 5. So if you ever heard someone say, "I'm doing 5 for 5s today," it's not that you're it's not that you're not putting in enough effort. It's that you're trying to get the best of both worlds. And I've realized that in the past week or so, and I've actually implemented that in my program here, where I'm kind of doing a little bit of both. I'm focusing on my main lifts. Actually, I'm focusing on, let's say, let me show you the back squat, and I'm doing 5 sets, right? 5 sets per week. That 4th week up here, that 4th week where I'm going to go the heaviest, I'm having 5 sets of 3 to 4 reps, right, times 2, which means probably 2 weeks I'm going to do that for. So 5 sets of 3 to 4 reps. My intensity is going to be extremely high, right, but the volume, as I just told you seconds ago, is going to be very low. So 5 sets of 5 is actually the most optimal if you're looking to increase muscle size, right, while increasing your numbers. Over time, if you can get used to that, that will be definitely beneficial for you guys. So that's kind of a breakdown, and that's in a nutshell, one, the differences between the two of powerlifting and bodybuilding specifically, and then 2, how you can optimize your performance in the gym, whether it's increasing your numbers or increasing your muscle size, or doing both. Number 5, my 5th kind of tip to kind of point out when you're making a program for yourself is any deloading, any deload weeks, slash kind of rest points in the program that are actually shown to be pretty beneficial over time. So that basically means decrease in intensity, kind of taking a step back, not ramping it up week by week by week, because your body gets tired. Obviously, your body needs rest. So if you want to continue with the program, my recommendation and what I have in this program here, my new program, is a deload week, right? A whole week of dropping the weight, maybe increasing the volume, so increasing the reps, keeping my sets the same exact number, but maybe changing, like I said, maybe changing the reps. So I'll either keep the same reps, I'm going to be dropping the weight regardless, because I need that little rest. I need to take a break from taxing the nervous system week by week by week by week by week. So I'll be dropping the weight, and I'll be maybe I'll be increasing the reps or keeping it the same. So an example here I'll show you. So every single third week, you guys probably can't see that for shit, but it says deload, right? So I have a intensity number, 50 to 65% of my 1 RM. So that's just, those percentages are basically just an estimate of where I'll be at in terms of my intensity. So every third week, whatever exercise there is, I'll have an increase in reps, but I'm going to make sure that I'm going to decrease my weight. So that's whatever I have, whether it's legs and calves, whether it's back biceps, rear delts, or whether it's chest triceps, anterior or lateral delts. So definitely good to implement in your program. Having a deload week or a deload phase, that will definitely be beneficial for you if you want to increase or if you want to just basically reach your goal. I found out that just non-stop taxing my body, whether it's muscular system or nervous system, whatever it is, non-stop taxing is tiresome. So tiresome. You get so fatigued. You don't want to train. Sometimes just in general, taking a couple days off or even a week off from just the heavy stuff, just intense hard work, is beneficial. So make note of that. Deloading is actually very good for you in terms of maybe down the line even increasing your weight or just increasing the chance of you reaching your goals. So last but not least, guys, including tempo and rest in your program. Tempo meaning how fast do you perform the rep, and then rest, you guys know the drill. Rest in between sets, in between exercises, whatever the case may be. You guys got to make sure that you have that in your program. So in my program, not to keep harping on my program, but in mine, I have per week basically tempo in some of the exercises. Let's say tempo here is based on a 4-number system. So dumbbell good mornings, I like to lower the weight real slow with 4 seconds. I like to pause at the bottom with 1 second. I like to explode at the top, controlling the weight when I explode. And then 0, that 4th number meaning in between that and the next rep. So tempo is listed in some of these exercises, not all of them, because most of the exercises I'll be doing at just the normal rate. And then rest per week. So let's say that 3rd week on my deload week, I'll have 30 seconds of rest because I'll have high number of reps but a low weight. And then on the 4th and 5th weeks, when I go real heavy, I'll have 2 to 3 minutes of rest in between the reps. So there you have it, guys. Make sure to kind of acknowledge all of those things that I mentioned to you guys if you want to make a perfect program, one that's going to be the most effective for you. And yeah, hopefully that was helpful for you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Message me, text me if you guys have my number, email me, whatever the case may be. Don't be afraid to reach out.